Hello, my awesome students. So today, what I'm going to be doing is demonstrating how to do a rhetorical analysis by using a classic Old Spice ad, which you can't see on the screen just yet, but it will start playing shortly. So first, what we're going to start doing is using a tool called noticing that Catherine Savini addresses in her article, which is one that you all will be reading next week and also responding to in a journal assignment. And this process of noticing that I'm using today comes from that article. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start dissecting the ad and noticing simultaneously. So let's begin.
Hello, ladies. Look at
Boom. There we go. So immediately we get some information on who our audience is, which is ladies. All right, so let's keep watching.
now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? We've uncovered our message from our ad. Even though your man is not me, he can at least smell like me. So if your man stops using lady-scented body wash, right? So this is interesting, right? He's both denigrating the men who don't use Old Spice, but also sort of the women too, right? Because he's talking about lady-scented body wash as being this bad thing. So here we are getting introduced to a lot of these pretty sexist and heteronormative comments that wouldn't seem to sit right with a woman being your audience. But okay, let's just keep that in mind, but we're gonna keep going.
Down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are...
Okay, so now we get more on the theme again, right? So we're learning more about the speaker. Not only is he handsome and charming, which we can see on the screen, but he is also wealthy, right? But then too, we encounter more denigration, right? Because he's holding tickets in that oyster, remember? But they're addressed as that thing you love, but not actually as this defined shared interest between, partners that could be addressed instead of this whole, sort of shaded idea of what these tickets actually are. So it's just something to keep in mind about how the audience is being swayed by the speaker and how these comments and rhetorical devices are being used to also sort of persuade the audience as well. So let's keep going and see what else we find.
Diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Okay, so there you go. The message gets even more defined. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. This theme repeats again and again, even from the beginning. So now, since we watched the ad, let's sort of start to analyze and uncover what's actually there. So in your textbook, you guys have encountered terms like ethos, pathos, logos, and some of these terms you've already probably been familiar with in high school, right? But instead of using those 3 terms that I just stated, to simplify things, we're going to focus on the speaker, the audience, and the message. These are the terms that I want you all to use in your rhetorical analysis: the speaker, the audience, the message. So imagine that all 3 of these are in a triangle, right? And each one, so the speaker can be paired with the audience, and the speaker can be paired with the message can be paired with the audience, and the audience can be paired with the speaker. They all go back and forth, and you can compare one in the triangle to the other 2. You can pair one side, So say the message and then the audience and then the message and the speaker, just like that. And then do it vice versa for all of the other three. So thinking about this ad, what we want to start with first is the speaker, right? So he's talking to ladies and he's off the bat noticeably attractive and charming. But the speaker's appeal is that even though your man is not me, he can at least smell like me. So here in the beginning, we see that he's speaking to women that are presumably attracted to him, right? But then as we continue to move along, we start to uncover this idea of like, well, if your man stopped using lady body wash, then he can be more like me, right? So now once we start getting into those murky waters in the middle, we start to understand and we can confidently say that the audience definitely is not women, but it's men, like we thought from the beginning. Because there's so many subtle digs and these like sexist claims in the message that are criticizing women. It's no way that you could actually be selling a product to women or, you know, focusing in on an audience that's mostly women when you're actually denigrating them and criticizing them the whole time, and even the body wash they use, right? So if also we want to move on to the message. So the message is, you can't be me. Talking to men, obviously, right? You can't be me, but you can smell like me. So what this message is doing is it's getting men to sort of believe that their romantic partners don't want to be with them, but someone who's more attractive, charming, and possibly uses Old Spice too and smells better. So let me continue to look at my notes so I make sure I'm giving you guys everything. So if we run back, we see that the speaker's connection to the audience, he's not really trying to speak solely to women. No, this is a man's fantasy, right? You know, he wants to smell good. He wants to look good. He wants to be this guy that's attracting all the ladies, right? This isn't a woman's fantasy. It can't be a woman's fantasy, especially when he's totally denigrating this idea of like ladies body wash and him smelling like a lady. It can't be for ladies, right? So then the audience in the message, we see how these really negative claims of like, you know, well, you're using ladies body wash, da 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 da, is actually making the man want to become more charming like this man on the screen, right? So it's sort of playing more on the idea of who a man should be. This is not for a woman. So how is the message actually in the audience working together to show that, yes, this is for men, not for women, like this ad started to say at the beginning, right? And then if you even want to think about the speaker and the message. So the speaker tied with the message is saying that he is making, or he is made in this perfect image of a man. So that's where this idea of the message ties back into the speaker, where no, you can't be me, but you can definitely smell like me. So with that being said, it's going to attract more men to this product and to this ad so that they can, I guess, you know, maybe amp up their character, amp up their scent, because it's obviously not directed to women, right, as it claims. So that totally throws off even the beginning of the ad, right? Because he's like, yeah, hey, ladies, directing it to women, but in all honesty, the audience is actually men. So that's how we're breaking down this ad in the way a rhetorical analysis would. So when you start your essay, what you can do is you can give a basis of like, at first, I thought that this message and this speaker working in tandem were talking about this or talking to this group of people, but actually they were talking to this group of people. And then you can dive into the complexity of, you know, the speaker, the message, and the audience that you've dissected. So just continue to remember the triangle and how you guys can, connect the speaker and the audience, the speaker and the message, the audience and the speaker, the audience and the message, and then the message and the speaker, and the message and the audience. So continue to try to make those connections, and it makes it much easier for you as you go along. So that's how you do a rhetorical analysis. So now that I've went through all of that, I just want to make sure that you guys know, definitely reach out to me via email if you have any questions or concerns. And also drop in office hours on Thursday if you have any, leading questions, toward the weekend and finishing your project, because I'll always be here to help. And I want to make sure that you guys definitely succeed in this class and with this project. So with that being said, just keep in mind that your rhetorical analysis and your peer review and also your journal 1 are due on September the 6th, which is this Sunday. But what I would suggest is doing your journal 1 as soon as possible and just knocking that out, because really it's a small assignment. And you don't want to be spending the weekend trying to scramble and, worry about this little minuscule assignment while you have a bigger project to focus on. So knock out that little journal 1 tonight or early tomorrow morning, so you can really start focusing on this major assignment that you're doing this weekend and that's due. So with that being said, I'll conclude this video, and thank you all for watching, and please feel free to contact me if you need any extra help or guidance. I'm always here. All right, thanks.